Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today, back on the lager wagon. You got it, we got more craft lagers. This time from Bad Seed Brewing, local craft brewery to me. Felt like was kind enough to give me some cans to review. He was like, hey dude, I have a big canning run, I have a canning run right now of some stuff. And if you'd like to review some of my new beers, let me know. So he actually dropped off a 6-pack of some mixed beers, and these are two of them. And I'm really excited about these, because they're lagers. As you know, I've been really into lagers as of late. And I did a brewery showcase video of the others. I specifically really enjoyed Lazarus IPA and his Good Morning Vietnam, which I think is probably his best beer. It's a really nice milk stout. So we're checking out two of his lagers, as I said, and we're checking out his Neu Pilsner and his Vienna lager. So I think we're going to start off with the Neu Pilsner. So the Neu Pilsner, just because it's lighter in color, and it's a Pils, it doesn't have all the big malt character. Even though Vienna lagers aren't usually like crazy heavy on the malt character. But Neu Pilsner is a German style lager hopped with Hallertau Mittelfrüh and Tettnang, which is actually my two favorite German old school hops to put in, like noble hops to put in Pilsners. I think they just work so well. It's 5%, and then barley malt, hops, and yeast, whatnot, and then canned by a can man. So we got it poured, and that looks fantastic. Look at that crispy boy, nice and golden yellow color. A little bit of haze because there's a little bit of sediment in the can, but with craft breweries you have to expect that. Most craft breweries don't have filters, and even though you get most of your yeast out of your tank, you're still gonna have some yeast left no matter what. It's almost impossible to get everything out unless you like centrifuge it or something like that. But I don't mind a slight haze on my Pils. That's okay as long as it tastes good. So yeah, but it looks nice, looks really refreshing, nice white head. Let's check out the aroma on my Pilsner. Wow, that really reminds me of our North German Pilsner because it's hopped with the exact same hops. That's why I said I really like Tettnang and Hallertau Mittelfrüh IPAs, Pilsners. It really reminds me of that one. Hallertau Mittelfrüh brings forth, I think Tettnang is quite similar to Saaz, but Hallertau Mittelfrüh is really floral to me, like really elderflower-like. And this smells really elderflower-like. There's a little bit of a grain profile too, like a sweeter malt. You can definitely smell he's worked on making lager. That's a great job for so far. Yeah, it's like some citrus rindy notes too. There's a little bit of a crackery, husky kind of malt thing. But otherwise it smells quite nice. Citrus, limey, sweetgrass, grassiness, sweet malt. Let's try it. Cheers. But again, specifically like elderflower to me. Yeah, I do like the aroma a little bit more than the flavor. Just because it has a little bit of a hop pellety thing, I think. It's very, very light. Like, very, very, very light. It's funny, though, because it's not there on the aroma at all. It's like a slightly green... It's like you chew... If you've ever brewed beer, chewed on hop pellets. It's the same thing, but it's just, like, really dialed down. So it's not, like, a big problem for me. Do you know what? Right now, Octopils in Denmark is getting a lot of rep. I think this should get some rep too. Again, they're quite similar, I think. That one might be a little bit more expressive on hop character, but this is maybe a bit more authentic in terms of like German stuff. Oh man, I could drink loads of this. Nice medium bitterness. It's not crazy, but it's definitely there. Very, again, citric, maybe more peppery and spicy on the flavor, and I think Tettnang comes with a lot of spice. Also slightly woody. That's also something I noticed from the noble hops, like slightly woody characters. So it's like grassy, peppery, woody, and a bit less fruity on the flavor profile. It has less of that like Mittelfrüh, elderflower, lemon kind of character, but it's still very tasty. It does kind of remind me of our lager, but I think ours is just a little bit more. I keep comparing it to that. I shouldn't, but it's just because it has the same hops. I think that one is just a little less bitter maybe, and then, it's also quite bitter. But just a little bit more like floral and citrusy, whereas it's a little bit more to the woody, grassy side, but that's not a bad thing. That's just one of the many facets of lager, and I think it's really nice. That's actually very impressive. Good job, Flag. I'd say, again, if you love, if you really dug Octopus, or if you really like the Total 45-day organic Pilsner, this is also something you should try. Again, a style that's a bit overlooked by geeks, but hopefully this will change. There's more and more breweries that trying to push this style. Hopefully not, sitting with loads of Pilsner, you can't sell it. But I think this is great for where we're based in Denmark, because a lot of people, especially locals, they probably don't want crazy hazy IPAs. They like a good Pilsner. So that will work. And I think this exactly hits the ballpark for what people would like to drink where I'm from, in this part of Denmark. We're starting to see more crafty things happening with restaurants and everything, even though right now, nothing's happening, but Frolic is actually delivering beer, so you can get his beer if you're in the area. You can see it on his Facebook page on Bad Seed Brewing, but I think this is something that's fallen a lot of more people's taste because it's a bit more of a classic style. So classic is not really a style. It's a Danish interpretation of Munich Dunkel / Vienna Lager, kind of that kind of thing. So Vienna Lager comes from Austria originally. It's very similar to a Märzen, which is kind of the German equivalent. I think just often Märzen might be a little bit stronger, and I've often just enjoyed Märzen a bit more than Vienna, but I've enjoyed both Märzen and Vienna more than Munich Dunkel. Again, I prefer the bright lagers, but if it has to be dark lager, it's Doppelbock. But this is 5% Vienna Lager hop with sauce, and I really think this is it's called what it is, a Vienna Lager, not a classic, because that's what it is. Because it's also, if you make a real classic, you have to make a Pilsner that you don't put in. So the thing is, with a Vienna Lager, you need Vienna malt, Munich malt, and Pilsner malt, and then a little bit of dextrine malt for the style. But the big breweries that invented this, actually Carlsberg, instead of using all that, it's just their base Pilsner dyed with caramel malt or caramel coloring. So you have the Vienna lagers. So it's just massively popular. People talk about, it gives a little bit of flavor, that's for sure, but people just love classic. A lot of people, when you meet them, they're not maybe too into beer or whatever. They I prefer a good dark beer, like a classic. And they're just oh, okay, have you heard of what it is? It's funny to give them the story. They're is it seriously colored? Yep. And then the story about Tuborg's Christmas beer is even better, because that's that's also shit. But this looks very nice. Very nice copper color. I think Vienna Lager in the States, places call it an amber lager. And, it's got that really nice deep amber color. Beige head, not white. Well, yeah, let's check out the aroma. Yeah, it smells like in between Pilsner and Munich Dunkel, if you can say it like that. Because it's not as hefty on malt, and it's a little more bright. But it does have loads of brown bread. Freshly baked brown bread, a little bit of a spicy, peppery hop note. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I drank a Vienna Lager. It's been ages, a properly brewed one. This will be fun. Let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers. Yep. Tastes like Vienna Lager. It tastes like this is what people would associate with a classic, but with a classic with more flavor, at least in Denmark. Because it definitely has much more malt flavor than your Tuborg Classic or Royal Classic, all that swill. But yeah, it's right in between Pilsner and Munich Dunkel. It's you almost blended a Pilsner and a Munich Dunkel together. Yeah, light sweet malt. Really light, yeah, a little bit. Sweet brown bread, or sweet, brown bread, toasted brown bread, really toasty, slightly nutty, and it has a little bit of a lemony, limey, singy hop character with that, classic sauce, peppery note, white pepper, black pepper. It's nice. It's a bit more bitter than I expected, actually. It's not crazy bitter, but it has a little bit of bitterness, but I think it's nice. It's a nice Vienna Lager. I actually really enjoy both of these. I think I enjoy them just if I had to rank what I've had from it so far in cans I've reviewed, it's definitely from the 6-pack. It's the number one is the Imperial Stout, then the Last Verse IPA, and then these two. I think they tie. I'm going to go 89 on both. I think they're quite nice. pretty on to styles. And it's just nice to see craft brewers doing this. So, I don't know. I'm enjoying this Vienna lager more than I thought I would. And usually I'm not that into dark lagers, so that's a good plus. Maybe it's because it has a bit of brightness, because that's what I want in my lager, like you find in this, in a Pils, without it being crazy. And it's the same with Märzen as well. I think that's also why I enjoy a Märzen more than a Munich Dunkel. So, nice stuff, guys. 89 for, like, not mind-blowing or, like, top of the pop crazy, whoa, this is like some of the best lager I've had, but just, like, really well-brewed lager that's really a joy to drink and something you wouldn't mind having a few cans of in the fridge. So, if you guys had a chance to try either Bad Seed Brewing's Neu Pilsner or their Vienna lager, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton for these. This was fun to check out. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I want to say cheers. And see you guys in another video.